Yo, what is up guys? It's me, Exactly, and I'm not gonna lie, I missed you guys. How y'all doing? It's been a while. I had to do some things on my end, get caught up in life, just take some time to actually decompress and get my head together so I could really get back on this grind. But we are back now. And that being said, we got quite a few things to talk about today, so let's not waste any more time, yo. Let's just get into everything that's been going on in the NBA. Can we all just take a moment to appreciate the fact that Karl Anthony Towns escaped this car accident pretty much unscathed? Alright, so for those of you who might not be aware, Karl Anthony Towns, one of the best big men, one of my actually most respected players in the league, he's been balling out this year for the Minnesota Timberwolves, was involved in a car accident over the weekend. Now, it was actually a car accident involving a semi-truck. Yeah, the man was hit by a semi-truck, and luckily, everyone in the car, and Karl Anthony Towns included, was unharmed in this accident. And Karl Anthony Towns yesterday said that he had about a 5% chance of actually surviving this accident, and only a 1% chance of surviving the accident with minimal to no injuries like he did.
Accident could have went, I would say I had 5% of chance of making it out alive. I hit the 5% mark, and then I'll say 4% was to be seriously injured, and 1% was to be minorly injured, and I came out in the 1%, so it's not bad.
Once again, can we all just take a moment to appreciate the fact that this man and everyone else in the car was uninjured during this car accident? That's a dang miracle. So LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers are back in the news once again. Alright, so a few days ago, after the Los Angeles Lakers lost to the New Orleans Pelicans, the Pelicans not even having Anthony Davis in that game, there was a lot of chatter going on around the Los Angeles Lakers. After that game, LeBron James seemingly called out some of his teammates, wondering whether or not they're desperate enough to make it to the playoffs, if they have what it takes to make it to the playoffs, if they want it bad enough. And that's because with only 20 some odd games left in their season, the Lakers are outside of the playoffs looking in, with a record of 29-31 on the year, putting them a couple of games behind the Sacramento Kings for the 9th seed and 3 full games behind the San Antonio Spurs for the 8th seed in the Western Conference. And after their latest loss last night to the Memphis Grizzlies of all teams, 110-105, LeBron James once again kind of sounded the alarms to the media, this time saying that if any players on the Los Angeles Lakers can't handle the spotlight, if they can't take the heat of this playoff run, if they're not physically and mentally equipped to play in LA and make a playoff push, that they should tell the Lakers, pack their bags, and find a new team.
At this point, if you are still allowing distractions to affect the way you play, then this is the wrong franchise to be a part of, and you should just come and be like, listen, I can't do this. Like, seriously, you're distracted by playoff pushes and all the stuff that's been talked about this year, that just come and do your job. We do our job at a high level, and that's not a distraction. That's what you want. That's what you want every game. You want to feel like you're fighting for something. That's what.
I wonder if LeBron James had any players in mind specifically when he was saying that, because I know it better not be Brandon Ingram, it better not be Kyle Kuzma, because both those guys were balling out last night, and Brandon Ingram has been on a mission for like the past month. That kid has been killing it out there for the Los Angeles Lakers, so I know LeBron had better not be throwing any shots at Brandon Ingram considering how well that he's been playing. So I really wonder who on this Lakers team is LeBron James talking to. Anyways, regardless of all that, regardless of how dense the air around the Los Angeles Lakers might be right now, with the playoffs on the line, it is pretty much do or die for this Lakers team. If they don't make the playoffs this year, you can guarantee that none of the players on their roster besides LeBron James will be back next season, and that includes the head coach Lou Walton. If they don't make the playoffs, he might as well not even ask if he still has a job. He might as well just pack up immediately after the game and start filling out some job applications. I can put a good word in with my old boss at Subway if you need it. Like I was saying though, regardless of all the commotion that's being caused around the Los Angeles Lakers internally, there are still some external forces trying to create even more commotion in the Los Angeles Lakers. And when I say external forces, I mean there's a league executive out there trying to cause some trouble for the Los Angeles Lakers, as one league executive just went on record to say that he believes LeBron James himself tore apart the Lakers locker room and chemistry with all of the Anthony Davis talk that he was doing earlier on in the season. Here's what this man had to say. He killed the Lakers chemistry. He shouldn't have been so public about it. Even during the All-Star draft, he laughed about wanting Davis to be his teammate. And my immediate first thought after reading this was, this has to be some executive from the New Orleans Pelicans. Some Pelicans executive is salty that LeBron James was running his mouth about Anthony Davis either before Anthony Davis came out and said he wanted a trade, and now that executive is trying to get back at LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers by, poking the fire, the bear, whatever it is that the Los Angeles Lakers are, the burning mess that the Lakers are right now, with a stick from a distance. I can guarantee you that this was someone from the Pelicans organization. As for my thoughts on this, I can kind of see where this person is coming from. I can kind of see a universe in which this could be the case, because if you think about it, I don't know how many players on the Lakers will be too happy that LeBron James seems so ecstatic about trading any one of them away at a drop of a dime to get Anthony Davis, especially since all of those young players in the Lakers were there before LeBron James. And not to mention the fact that after LeBron James and Los Angeles Lakers failed to get Anthony Davis, that's when LeBron James started to take some shots at his teammates. That's when he started questioning whether or not the teammates that he has really wants to make the playoffs. He started questioning whether or not they had what it takes to play in LA, and if they don't, they should pack their bag. If that guy, while at the same time himself not playing a single lick of defense, was going off on his teammates about them not trying hard enough, then yeah, for sure, I could see why some players might not be too happy about that and how that could affect the team chemistry. So maybe some guys do feel like that, but I mean, come on, there's no way we're actually ever going to prove that unless someone from the Lakers locker room comes up and confirms this story, because it also could be other things such as injuries. We all know that all season long, the Los Angeles Lakers have been dealing with injuries. LeBron James himself missed 17 games this season. Rajon Rondo's missed time. Lonzo Ball's missed time. Brandon Ingram missed time when he got suspended. This Lakers team has been dealing with injuries and drama all season long, and all of that stuff will affect team chemistry. So to say that it was one thing more than another, we can't really prove that. I saw an article and then all of a sudden it dawned on me just how real the situation has gotten. It used to be a running joke in the NBA community. NBA fans would talk about it all the time when Carmelo Anthony first didn't work out with the Houston Rockets, that his time in the NBA was done, that no team was going to sign him. He's going to end up playing in China, yada, yada, yada. That was the main storyline surrounding Carmelo Anthony all season long. That and the possibility of him going to the Los Angeles Lakers. However, even though I myself may have participated in some of the jokes about Carmelo Anthony and not finding another team, a little part of me deep down had to know that some team out there was going to take a risk on Carmelo Anthony. Some team was going to say, you know what on earth do we have to lose? Why not? Let's go out and give Carmelo Anthony a shot. I thought some team was going to do it, but after I saw this article headline, it dawned on me that Carmelo Anthony still does not have a team. Article I saw was titled, "Lakers have given up on signing Carmelo Anthony." Now, I figured the Lakers had done this a very long time ago, but like I said, when I saw this article, it was the first time that I'd seen Carmelo Anthony's name in the news for weeks. I had completely forgot that the man still doesn't have a team, and he most likely isn't going to get a team this late into the season unless some team out there becomes extremely desperate. I mean, I just find it crazy that Carmelo Anthony has pretty much been teamless this entire NBA season. But I really don't want to say too much else about this. It's kind of a sad subject for someone who grew up watching Carmelo Anthony pretty much my entire career of being an NBA fan. Back in the day, I never would have thought that Carmelo Anthony was going to go out like this. The Los Angeles Lakers losing to the Memphis Grizzlies, one of the worst teams in the Western Conference when they're fighting for their playoff lives, is kind of inexcusable. Once again, LeBron's defense in this game was non-existent. And then on the offensive end, he wasn't even playing like a guy who seemed desperate to make the playoffs either. So the man's really sending some mixed messages when on the court, he's not playing like he really wants to make the playoffs at all times. But then after the games, he talks about the other guys on the Los Angeles Lakers maybe not wanting to make the playoffs bad enough or being scared of making the playoffs for some reason. So really mixed messages. Bad news for any Indiana Pacers fans, as even though the team has still been playing well without Victor Oladipo, who was out for the rest of the season, it's now about to get a little more challenging for Indy, as late in the fourth quarter of the Pacers 113-109 loss to the Pistons last night, Domantas Sabonis, who was playing extremely well and had 23 points in this game, went down with a sprained ankle and had to leave the game immediately. No timetable has been put on his return yet, but he will for sure be out for at least a few games. The Philadelphia 76ers just got the narrow 111-110 win over the New Orleans Pelicans. The Sixers still without Joel Embiid, who has missed the last 3 Sixers games, and even though they won, I do have some bad news for Sixers fans, as Boban Marjanovic, the most unstoppable player in the NBA, went down with about a minute left in the fourth quarter with a knee injury. We haven't got any official word on how serious the injury is yet. He is set to undergo MRIs, but hopefully it's nothing that will keep Boban out for too long. Anyways, the Sixers with this win are now just 1 game behind the Pacers for that 3rd seed. The Golden State Warriors are back in the win column after that loss to Chris Paul and the Houston Rockets a couple of nights ago, as Golden State got the pretty easy 121-110 win over the Charlotte Hornets. The Warriors in this game limiting the Hornets, making just 7 of their 33 3-point attempts. DeMarcus Cousins scoring 24 points to go along with 11 rebounds. I mean, the Houston Rockets won, but at what cost? As despite the fact that the Rockets beat the Hawks like they should have, 119-111, the game marked the end for James Harden's historic 30-point run, as Harden in this game failed to score at least 30 points for the first time in 32 games. 28 points for James Harden in this one. All he needed to do was just hit 1 of the 10 threes that he attempted, and he would have been straight, but I guess that wasn't supposed to happen. Speaking of making 3-pointers though, Trae Young was causing the Rockets a lot of problems this game. Young hit a career high 8 threes to score 36 points. And even though Luka Doncic is about to win Rookie of the Year, we all know this, I gotta give mad respect and mad props to Trae Young. The kid has been absolutely balling out and is proving pretty much all of the doubters and the haters that he had coming out of college wrong. Karl Anthony Towns had to sit out the Wolves last game against the Knicks after his car accident, but he was back last night, and that's unfortunate for the Kings, as Towns destroyed Sacramento with 34 points, 21 rebounds, and 5 assists. 112-105 the final score in this one. A very unfortunate loss for the Kings as well, since if they would have won this game, it would have put some more distance between them and the Lakers and brought them closer to the Spurs for the A seed. With this win over the Dallas Mavericks, the LA Clippers move up in the standings out west just a bit, leapfrogging the San Antonio Spurs to now move into the 7th seed, a full game ahead of San Antonio too. And I thought for sure that when the Clippers traded away Tobias Harris, their hopes and dreams of making the playoffs this year will be out the window. And to be honest, I kind of wanted to see the Sacramento Kings make the playoffs. I still do want to see the Sacramento Kings make the playoffs because they are such a fun young team to watch. And I really think a first-round matchup between Sacramento and Golden State, while we all might know the outcome, it would still be a really, really good series. All of the games that the Kings and Warriors have played during the regular season so far have been very, very close, and Draymond Green, Kevin Durant, Stephen Curry, all of those guys acknowledge the team that Sacramento has. Draymond Green even saying that Sacramento Kings team could become a rival to the Golden State Warriors. So of course I want to see a Kings versus Warriors first round matchup. The Kings could benefit a lot from a little bit of playoff experience they would get, and the Los Angeles Clippers on the other hand, well, I don't hate the Clippers. I wouldn't necessarily care if they made the playoffs, but if you think about it, I think they could benefit more from getting a higher pick in the NBA draft as opposed to making the playoffs. So I prefer the Kings over the Clippers, but if it doesn't happen, it's whatever. The Kings will be in the playoffs very soon enough. Even without Giannis, the Milwaukee Bucks still took care of the Chicago Bulls like they should have been able to. 117-106. Malcolm Brogdon and Chris Middleton scoring 22 points each. The Portland Trailblazers, who are still trying to catch up with the OKC Thunder for the 3rd seed in the Western Conference, just got a pretty important 123-110 win over the Cleveland Cavaliers. This win brings them to just 1.5 games behind the Thunder for the 3rd seed. After the Phoenix Suns lost their last game to the Atlanta Hawks, DeAndre Ayton vowed that he was going to start taking over games. The Suns were on a franchise-worst 17-game losing streak, and now with 20 games left in the season, DeAndre Ayton finally said that he had had enough losing and wanted to start winning. You know, they say better late than never, but Ayton got 20 games left in the season. You're on a 17-game losing streak and you decide that you want to start winning now? Why? Regardless of that though, the Suns did win this game over the Miami Heat 124 to 121, and it wasn't necessarily because of Ayton taking over, though he did play decent with a modest 14 points, but it was more so because of the Suns scoring 40 points in the fourth quarter. Devin Booker with 20 on the night. And for the last game of the day, D'Angelo Russell and the Brooklyn Nets just got a very big win over the San Antonio Spurs, 101 to 85, because the Nets for a while had been starting to look kinda shaky again. They lost 6 of their last 10 heading into this one, and Detroit was starting to make up ground in the Eastern Conference for that 6th seed. So this was a very big win for the Nets, of course led by none other than D'Angelo Russell, who had 23 points, 8 rebounds, and 7 assists. That though is officially going to cover everything that we had to talk about today. This video might have been kind of long. We had a lot of games, plus some news, plus it's my first video back. I'm feeling good. I hope you guys did enjoy it. But that being said, we're going to be posting on this channel every Monday through Friday. I really gotta try and stop myself from burning out, and I realize working 7 days a week all the time isn't the healthiest recipe out there, so I gotta cut back, gotta have at least a couple days off. So that being said, I'll definitely see all of you right back here tomorrow. Boy guys, until tomorrow, remember that you are the real MVPs, and also to keep getting the buckets, Team SDC, and until then, I'm out of here. Peace.